somebody said I stopped them from committing suicide. I still don't believe that, but if I'm reading the passage, they like somebody just died, they're going through hard times, and my video stopped them from committing suicide. I got that a couple of times, stopping somebody from killing themselves. I kind of believe it because when I was going through my mental health, I didn't want to kill myself, but I was like, I don't care if I die or live. Like, I don't even want to be here no more.
This is Knockin' Doorz Down with the mission to bring voices to the addiction, recovery, and mental health illness community through advocacy and accessible resources. I'm your host, Jason Alcoholic.
I'm Mikey.
Yeah.
Usually you bring me in. I guess I'll do it myself now.
Sorry.
Who the fuck am I, right?
You're the other
I'll bring myself in.
Our guest hanging out with us, Terrell Green, social media comedian, author of your book, which we definitely want to talk about. Thanks for coming down, jumping in studio with us, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I should have brought a book. My bad.
That's all right.
I feel horrible.
I'm a reader.
He's a reader.
Too.
Hey, I got an idea. There's a studio right here. You should record an audio book because I am an audio book
My
fiend.
fans been requesting that.
Yeah.
Audio book.
How is the book doing? Of course, the book, Against All Odds, a story about how I became.
It's doing real good. My fans, I'm getting good feedback from it, from people with mental health.
Yeah.
They're letting me know that my book helped them out a lot. So that was my goal, honestly, to help people with mental health.
Yeah. Why did you want to write a book about mental health?
Just the things I've been through, and once I like gained a lot of followers, I was like, it's perfect, because when I was going through it, I was like, if I overcome this, it's like a movie, or it's like, people like, I'm gonna write a book about my life. I actually said that when I was going through it, and when I overcame it, I was like.
And what got your followers? Snoop Dogg had reposted something, right?
He reposted my video like 3 times.
Nice.
Once it was December 31st, and he was like in the year on some comedy relief. So he ended the year 2020 with my video. That was the last post he posted. So like, damn.
So did you just wake up to that, or did you know? Or
I woke up and then people were saying to me like, Snoop Dogg posted you. Like at first I was shocked. The second, third time I'm like, all right, that gave me motivation.
Hell yeah.
What video was it that he reposted?
It was like I'm in the hood. I woke up and I was looking out the window and crazy stuff in the hood was going on, and people were falling and dancing.
Probably could a lot of people that could relate to it. Like,
I'll show you. I'll send it to you.
All right. Like that shit looks familiar.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier. So a lot of your stuff is comedy, right? It's funny. Is it hard to do comedy, especially nowadays with people being so damn sensitive?
It
like
is.
Everything literally offends everybody.
Right.
That comment I just said probably offended somebody. But is that hard? Is that hard to kind of dance around, or do you just go all in and say whatever?
So it depends. Sometimes I dance around it, and then sometimes I like take a while, look at it, like I'm gonna just post it, and then I let the people know in the comments like it's just comedy.
Right.
Don't come at me like sideways.
Right.
And then some of my fans will back me up like this is don't come to a comedy page for being serious.
Sure.
Like, you got to go somewhere else with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Do a lot of people, because you got a great character, which I got to ask where it came from.
Earl.
Where the fuck did Uncle
70s.
Earl come from?
Do you have a similar uncle? Is that where it came from?
No, it just came. Like I did a TikTok with the wig on, and I was doing Ike and Tina. The movie. I did that skit, and then people was loving it. And I was like, one day I was like, I put the wig on, I'm gonna do a skit, and people was like, you should give him a name. No, my barber was like, you should give him a name. I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna give him a name, and I made a video with him, and people was loving it. So I made him a page, and now I think he gonna be bigger than me. He might get a movie before me.
Hey, you never know. That's not a bad thing.
Hey, but sometimes I'll be acting like I'm outside of like the videos, like I catch myself doing this on accident. Like, what the fuck? That shit real.
How much of the Uncle Earl character like is drawn from personal experiences other than the Ike and Tina?
I mean,
like
growing up around people that do cocaine and like abuse. I wasn't really brought up in an abusive home.
Yeah.
But you see stuff like that, and so you can relate to it.
Sure.
So a lot of people can, but a lot of people can't. Like some people be telling me I need to lay off on putting the cocaine on my nose and doing this in my videos, but that's just him.
Yeah,
that's that character.
And you know what? If it works for you and that's what you want to do, then just do it. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of comedy. It's
I lose followers a lot, but then I gain them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do be like, damn, I don't want to piss people off, because I got
tough.
a heart in this kid. I'm an influencer. Kids watch me.
Yeah.
I understand that. So, but
yeah,
I gotta pay bills.
But you're trying to also drop, like, for me, comedy was, because I grew up in a tumultuous home, emotionally. So, you know, my parents had the brilliant record collection, everything from George Carlin to Pryor to Eddie Murphy to Steve Martin or whatever it was. For me, it was like a great outlet. And and people that don't know,
same here.
Like I was asked today, I was telling you guys before we recorded, I did a couple speaking at a couple of high school classes on addiction and mental health stuff. And one person goes, you're like, is it fun? I'm like, you should, like, I hope you never come into one of my AA groups, but man, we're fucking nuts. Like the jokes that we pop is pretty bad because we're in that. The comedy gets us through.
Right. I never realized that till people let me know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every time I check my DMs on Facebook, Instagram, people like, I got them through their day. Somebody said I stopped them from committing suicide. I still don't believe that, but if I'm reading the passage, they like somebody just died. They're going through hard times, and my video stopped them from committing suicide. I got that a couple of times, stopping somebody from killing themselves. I kind of believe it because when I was going through my mental health, I didn't want to kill myself, but I was like, I don't care if I die or live. Like, I don't even want to be here no more. And then I seen a video on Facebook, this before I started making videos, and that video turned my whole day around to the point where I wanted to start making videos. So I see the power in comedy. Yeah. You know, and then I grew up watching Richard Pryor. GOAT. He the GOAT.
Yeah. I would rank him up there. He's in my. I kind of bounce around a little bit.
He the Jordan of comedy to me.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that for sure. He was a guy that flipped it and made it something completely different. He was the original Raw before Eddie Murphy was Raw, because the stuff that he said, you know, I still one of my favorite jokes, and I don't know how much you listen to Mikey Pryor. He goes, "Coke make you do crazy shit." I tell a woman, "Look, I'm gonna run around the house 3 times, and then on the 3rd time, jump off on my face." You know, it's like
drugs was his downfall. Huh?
Yeah, it was sad. I mean, you know, dude caught himself on fire freebasing, you know, because he wanted to. It was crazy.
Wow.
But where were you at with, you said you didn't want to kill yourself, but what was it with your mental health struggles?
Because I had seen my best friend get killed, and then I had dropped out of school, like literally, like we was in a house and another guy was playing with a gun and killed him, and I witnessed it. So I was a freshman in college at the time. I was going to Fresno City, and I was a top athlete coming out of Edison High School, and I had stopped playing sports because every time I go to practice, like my mind would be thinking about that night. Mm-hmm. I'd be at my dad's house just in a dark place. I took the blame for it, like, you know, like I felt like it was my fault.
Sure.
And a lot of people was blaming me anyways because they know what was going on, like what caused it. Like people saying I set him up, or it was a lot of weird stuff going on. And I didn't even have the love for sports no more. I didn't even want to live, bro. It was a whole lot of trauma.
Yeah.
So did you is comedy what helped you get through that, or did you talk to somebody professionally?
I didn't talk to nobody. No. The videos is what helped me. Mm-hmm. Once I started making videos and people was telling me, "Oh, you helping me with my mental health." I'm like, little do y'all know I'm making these videos and I'm going through it. Mm-hmm. So I'm helping y'all, but at the same time it's helping me too. Like when I make my skits, it take me to a whole nother world. It's like I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
Pull your mind out of that place.
Right.
And people don't understand that, you know, with PTSD, and we've talked to soldiers on here and people that have gone through abuse, and I even had a psychologist think that I have some hypervigilance because of some physical trauma, physical abuse. Like I'll wake up in a fucking panic and shit, you know. But like, have you done any sort of, you said you like to read, have you, at least if you've not gone to any counseling, kind of dug more into that and kind of unraveling your mind a little bit? Because I'm sure there's little triggers. I mean, car making noise, or
I really do want to go talk to somebody. I even talked to her about it. Like, I need to find, like, y'all know somebody I can talk to, recommend, I'll go like ASAP. Like, I just haven't, I don't want to go to somebody that, you know, I don't know. Like, it's just hard to talk to people like you don't know. Like, I want to talk to somebody that, like, I could build a bond with, that, you know, professional, that I'm gonna tell my life about, who that could really help me. But like talking to y'all right now, this is helping me about, you know. That's why I came on here to.
And that's a fucked up thing about mental health too. It's like you never had suicidal thoughts, but you're at the same time, I don't care if I live or die. Yeah. Like when I go through it still to this day, like I've talked to people like professionals, but there is right and wrong people. Like there's one guy, it's like, exactly. I know he's a pro, but he doesn't get it.
That's why I haven't picked nobody.
Yeah, and it's like, this girl's a pro. I kind of like what she's talking about, but at the same time, I mean, there were stories that I've heard because, you know, we come from a town that's not that big. So it's like, I know who this person is and I know her family life. And it's like, who are you to talk to me about mine when your shit's kind of on fire too? You know what I mean? It's like, so you have to have the right person, but it's just crazy how it can take you places like mine. I've never had thoughts of committing suicide ever. But at the same time, I will just, and Jason knows, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to be left alone. I want to go into a dark room and just try not to die and wait for that moment to pass. And I'll be like, okay, then I'll splash my face with cold water. Then I'll be good. And it's just, it sucks, but it just affects everyone so much differently. So to find that outlet you did, that's awesome. Because I haven't found a niche yet. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's awesome. But then like when you start like, what comes with it, it triggers your mental health more. Like my family called me, asked for money, and I like it'll shut my whole day down because I don't like saying no.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
And when I do, it affect me still. But when I say no, it's still, I don't know, it's just hard. And then I just shut myself down, go in the room, meditate, change my number, all that. Like,
yeah. Well, I suffer very much. Part of what I was talking about before we recorded that sex and love addiction, primarily the love, is like I'm a people pleaser,
right?
And I want to be loved. And despite whatever shame,
we all do.
Yeah, right. That shame and guilt that gets carried from some of my actions, which, you know, I can go, oh, I was drunk then or whatever, but it don't matter. It's still my actions, and I kind of hear that maybe with you that and I'm asking, like, people trying to put that guilt and blame upon you, whereas it's kind of a blameless situation. It's, you know, we get in fucked up situations. We just do. And guess what? When you're in a fucked up situation, a fucked up environment, fucked up things happen.
Exactly. I don't know how I got out of that.
Yeah.
It's just a pain in the ass, man. It's just, it really is mental health. It's like, and I'm so glad because we live, I've said this a million times and I'll say it a million more, but we live in a world today where the most attention that it's ever been brought on in mental health is right now. There's a lot of people addressing it, and I love that.
Me too.
You know, who, gosh, there was somebody, was it Dak Prescott?
A lot of athletes.
Yeah, a lot of athletes are talking about mental health, and I hate the Cowboys, but I love Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah, everybody loves Dak. I hate the Cowboys too. He a real nice dude. You can tell.
And I love that he's addressing that because they have this huge platform, and they're using that platform to address it. And I love that because it wasn't talked about enough.
Right.
Like my parents, my mom gets it, but my dad was from a family to where it's just like, you're fine. Suck it up, man up.
Put some dirt on it.
That's man. When you growing up in the hood, we don't talk about it because it make you seem weak, you know. And man, it's kids growing up where I'm from that I know they got mental health issues because the things they're going through and see, just like me, and they don't talk about it. They go to school and you know you gotta put your big boy pants on.
Yeah. Don't talk about it because it makes you feel weak. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I love how all these athletes are addressing it now.
But you bring up where you grew up. What was life growing up for you?
Man. So we was on welfare, you know, in apartments, me and my mom, and she had an addiction problem. So she half the time she wasn't there, so I'd be with my sister, and you know, it'd be like shootings on the other side of the apartments, like shootouts in my apartments. Just seeing a lot of your friends die. You know, I was a pallbearer. I had to carry my friends a casket like twice before the age of 21. Damn. Like 19, 20, like back to back. 19, 20, I think. Before 21 or 22, I carried my friend's casket. So, like, a lot of death.
Yeah. How did you even find that? You said you were a standout athlete. How did you even find that desire within that home unit? I'm guessing Dad wasn't present at all.
Oh, yeah, my dad was present. That's one thing. He was present, but he died 2016, but he was present. I moved out with my mom to move with my dad to live a better living situation because you know, we was on welfare, and the part of the, you know, the money is supposed to, on welfare, you get a welfare check, right? And the money is for your child, like, to take care of him, but she was using it for her drug addiction or whatever. And then I moved with my dad because I realized, like, I'm in high school, I'm wearing the same clothes I've been wearing since middle school. My dad put me on game, like, if you move in with me, you can keep your check, just give me the food stamps. So I'm like, bet. I moved out with my mom. I was a mama's boy too, so it hurted me to do it. I moved out. Moved with my dad. I was able to buy everything I wanted, like go to school, fly now. It was only $300, $200 check, but shit, I could buy shoes now, a couple of t-shirts and pants.
Right. When you're wearing the same thing, people take that for granted.
Heck, man, like gas you. I ran track too, so I was kind of popular. I was fast. I was the fastest at my school, so people knew me. So when you wearing weak clothes and everybody know you, people gonna throw jabs at you. Yeah. What are those? Talking about your shoes.
I'm glad that phase is over. The what are those things?
Oh. Hey,
my nephew did that to me once. I'm like, you little shit. Little turd. He was like, what are those? I'm like, get the fuck.
Best parallel I could make, when my dad was kind of at the peak of his addiction, and my mom felt the best place I could go was like 7th grade, was a private school, Catholic school. And it was the fucking worst because it was all the rich kids. Yeah. So here I am going through a growth spurt. I went from like 5'6" to I think by the time I got out of 8th grade, I was almost 6 feet tall.
So you were the tallest in school.
Yeah, so we had to wear like the corduroy pants. You whistle when you walk and all that.
Flooding that.
Yeah, and so I'm outgrowing it. I'm flooding. All the rich kids got the J's, and I got the Magic Johnsons.
Magic Johnsons, like.
Yeah.
He got shoes?
Yeah, they were like the $55 Converse, and they just said Magic with a star on the tongue.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't either.
For this new story for the podcast. So, of course, my mom, I couldn't get a haircut. My hair's going crazy. I got bullied, picked on, beat up, and then the most popular kid, we're playing football, and flag football, and I get the ball, kind of break away, and nobody could catch him. Well, he couldn't catch me, so I get the touchdown. Of course, there's a chain link fence, and he shoves me right into it and splits my lip. And yeah. And then I started dunking in 7th grade, too, so I, of course, pissed them off as well. So it was like, I get what you're saying. Like, I had this thing, So sports kind of was that. Was it just track?
No, I played football, too. I was actually
really?
one of the top receivers at my school, too. Only thing that messed me up was my grades, and I didn't take the what is it called? NCAA clearinghouse. I didn't do none of that because I didn't have no guidance. I was a good athlete. Plus, I'm short already, but all those came into play that messed me up. So I had to go to a JC, and then that's when my friend died, and I said, "Fuck sports."
And how do you see, like, looking back? You talk about where the community you come from and mental health, and I was alarmed what I learned today when I went and spoke to these classes that 2,000 plus students at a school. The football team had 7 full-time staff, people that were on staff, teachers that were football coaches. For 2,000 plus students, they had 1 mental health counselor. 1. And they're wondering why. When situations like yours, kids come home, you didn't have anyone to talk to.
That was you said high school?
This is a high school. Yeah.
I wish they had that in mind.
Yeah, at least 1 counselor, right? Yeah.
I don't remember there being any counselors when I was in high school either.
Especially not no mental health. We had counselors, but
not mental. Yeah,
that's huge.
They would come in and look at your grades and go, "This is what you should do." But as far as like a counselor, but they got 1 mental health counselor for 2,000 plus students. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, need help.
So how do you like look back upon that and maybe like mentorship now? Because you're a family man and doing your thing and building your brand and making your income.
Back then, honestly, I probably would have shut it off back then too. 'Cause I was shy, like I didn't really. I probably wouldn't even want the help. I I just take it. Just whatever I'm going through, I'm gonna get through it. That's how it was, anyways. That's just like in any, like I said, in the hood. That's how it be. Like you gotta, whatever you're going through, you don't want to seem weak.
Yeah.
So that's what I had that demeanor too. Like, whatever I'm going through, I'm gonna be good. That's why I got my first tattoos on my face. My teardrop, I talk about in my book. When my sister died my sophomore year at a party, she got killed. She was an innocent bystander. Like, I didn't know how to express my pain, so I got the tattoos on my face, and that was my way of expressing my sorrow.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's good. Like, pain actually give me motivation. As crazy as it sounds, like whenever I go through hard times or like if somebody close to me die, I'm gonna be hurt, but I know like it's gonna motivate me to. Yeah, I'm gonna use it as motivation.
And that's a tough thing to do. That's tough. Like, in what way? Because I know that your book, and I'd love to read it. I haven't read it yet. I was hoping you'd bring a copy.
Yeah.
But
I'll bring you one.
I'll shoot you a text. I go to where we live all the time. Merced. I live in Atwater. I'll come pick one up for you. You got to make a living too. I'll buy a copy. But I know that from what I understand, that it's kind of journal entries and different things compiled as well.
Right.
what made you want to do it that way instead of just writing out a book? Like just a linear story, here it is, but actually put in these things.
Probably because I probably didn't have enough really to make it like a regular book.
Sure.
But it's just like, it's stages. It's basically stages, like from when I was a kid, elementary, high school, college, to now. Like, you know, it's just like stages. That's why I broke it up in like each stage. You know, it's like each chapter is like everything I've been through. It's in order. So basically, I just
like a timeline kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a timeline.
So was it a decision where you kind of went back and looked at all this stuff compiled over a timeline, and you just felt like, hey, this might help somebody else? Or?
Yeah, that too. And it was like, I started writing like 3 years ago. It'd be like writing in a journal. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn this into like a little book or whatever. So every time I went through something, I write it in a journal. Like, I had two brothers who was in the foster home my whole life. I'm 5 years, I'm like 3 years older than 4, but they got took from my mom when I was a kid, when they was born, like 4. And I just barely seen them again when I was 25. Like, they came back in my life, like, met us through Facebook, like, hey, we your brother, and we met up. So I wrote about that in the book too. But I was already writing my book, and then I found them, so I had to go back and write a book that I found my brothers that I had previously said I wanted to meet.
Yeah.
So I was writing about it, and I met them.
So
that was tight.
I bet that had a big impact on you.
Yeah,
you know?
it did. But it was, at the same time, it was fucked up because one of the twins didn't want to meet my mom because, you know, they was in a foster home with how can I say it? With white people, Caucasian. How do you say it?
Sure, you say white people.
White people. You know, they was in foster home with white people, so the white mom basically told them, I guess, like, my mom threw him away, but she didn't. You know, you on drugs. She got, the system took him. So that brother didn't want nothing to do with my mom.
Sure.
This is what the other brother told me, because we was close. He actually stayed with me. So he was like, yeah, he don't want to do it our mom because the stuff he heard. I'm like, that's crazy. So he met my mom, but the other ones still to this day haven't met they birth mom.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, I know a couple of twins that their mom left early, and one of them it didn't affect at all, and one of them it did, and kind of how they perceived even, you know, themselves and relationships and everything else, you know, and what they would connect with. But sounds of it, mom got clean.
My mom?
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
She had like a muscle. She used to take muscle relaxers like a motherfucker. But I used to find like little foil around the house, even in high school. Like, to this present day, my little sister, like, last year found some foil, and she was like, brother, what's this? I'm like, you don't even want to know. So she's still battling, like, and she got like lung COPD.
Yeah.
So she told me she's scared to stop because she's scared. She said if she stops, she might die.
Right.
Like, you know how it be when you stop and then you start, your health might fuck up even more.
Yeah.
That's what situation she in. She's kind of scared to stop.
Sure. I understand. I've seen people through that detox period and everything else, and I know for me with alcohol, I was worried because seizures could follow or anything. You know, knock on wood, I got lucky and a clean bill of health of kidneys and lungs. I'm one of the lucky people, but I get where that kind of fear comes in too, but it's also that addict mindset of letting this thing go. It's kind of like, yeah, it might kill you, but guess what? Your next hit might kill you too.
I be praying for her. I even try to, it's crazy because she told me, I don't want to sit on here, but she said one of her family members got her on drugs when she was like 15.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we talk about when people may not understand when they talk about certain systemic stuff in cultures and in society, that it's just that certain things are prevalent. We had Terrence T-Rex McKinney, UFC fighter, on a previous episode. I think it dropped today as of this recording that you're here with us, and you know, he really talked about that, like he was, you know, the style of discipline that he received was because his lineage received that style of discipline. You know what it is? And sometimes we keep carrying this shit forward, these pains and trauma forward over and over and over. So I think it's good you're wanting to put it out there and showing this vulnerability, because it's like, it's not weak. It takes a lot of strength, man.
I don't got no problem, you know, opening up about my problems.
That's good.
You know, because my mama was on drugs, and then like I played football, and she was the first person to give me a pain pill because I think my shoulder was hurting, and she gave me a narco.
Oh,
I loved the feeling ever since then.
Sure.
After high school till present day, like whenever I'm dealing with like with mental health, I meditate, but sometimes when it's like too much, I take a pain pill. I'm not a muscle relaxer, but like a pain pill. And then, but
meditation help you?
It do.
Tried. Jason, bless his heart, he'll send me certain things too. Meditation. It just it fucks me up more. Like when they're like, and breathe out.
Oh no, see, I don't
just
do
like,
that.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't work for me.
Y'all know what you read, so you know what the law of attraction is?
Yes.
So I meditate and kind of use kind of the law of attraction things. Like I had a vision board, and I like sit there and like look at the things on the vision board, close my eyes and visualize myself with it. Focus on my breathing and just trying to switch my the negative thoughts to positive thoughts. And I listen to like meditation sounds like on my Alexa. I tell her to play like ocean sounds and just sit there quiet. Of course I gotta be at home by myself, so I can be quiet and just that shit really helped. Meditation. I
wanted it. And Cheryl Burke, she had sent me some. She goes, here's my username, here's my password, try this. I'm going to call you in 30 days. It's a meditation thing. And I'm just, day 2, I'm like, I can't fucking do this. This is driving me.
So for you, it's like, when you do it, your mind must be running crazy.
Million miles an hour.
Yeah.
In complete silence with this, and it's just like...
that first time, you ain't going to get it.
Yeah.
If you would have kept doing it,
sure.
you probably would have got it.
And I might.
It's not for everybody.
I got nothing to lose trying it. You know what I mean? The anxiety's still there, so I might as well. But it's just like, I don't know what help. I mean, keeping my mind busy, I guess. Like, driving helps. I've noticed that. Every time we go to LA, I'm the one who drives because it just helps. It's like, I prefer to drive.
I like driving too.
Yeah.
Well, and I find that for me through the processes, and maybe why, and I'm not saying this is for you, but it can unlock a lot of shit.
It can.
And when it does, then guess what you got to do? Or at least a person like me, I got to deal with it. Otherwise, I'm going to go and subconsciously, because this is my last relapse happened, I don't even remember going to the convenience store to buy a beer.
That's good.
And I'm 2.5 beers in. I didn't even remember getting in the car, driving, or anything else. So I know for me, if I don't
when was the last time you drank a beer?
As of this recording, I celebrate a year.
Man, I salute you.
So
the crazy thing about it, I know I can stop taking pain pills. It's just that, man, I'll go like a month, and then I'll be like, if I don't like large crowds, so if I go somewhere where I'm gonna be around a lot of people, I take it just to like, it make me feel more comfortable.
I'm not a fan of large crowds either.
I hate large crowds.
Stadiums,
like, still to this day.
Concerts, sporting events. Yeah,
I hate it. Like the Kevin Hart concert, I was like, I gotta get high before I go there. Just because sometimes people run up to me, I know you. I don't even like that. Like my fans run up to me, like I love it, but I'll be nervous.
But at the same time, so we're still kind of in the midst of that struggle to get past that.
Heck yeah.
But there's a desire.
Yeah, it's a desire for sure.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
We can talk more after this.
Yeah.
So I know you can do it. For me, it's tough. I still do have social anxiety, so I get that. Like, it's weird for a guy that wanted love so bad that when I get it, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Bro,
and
that's
what
crazy.
do you want from me?
Still to this day, that's how I am. Like, even with my girl, like, I always wanted love from my mom. I didn't get it. But when I get it, it's like, is this real? Is you playing me? Is this how love supposed to be? Like, I don't even know how love feel. And I don't know how to love, I feel like, because I never really,
Best I heard it put was, and I forget who I was listening to, that love is not a feeling, it's a thing you prove in action.
Yeah.
And
That'd
so,
action.
For me, it's like, as a guy that loved toxic relationships, I loved them.
What? That's where I'm at right now.
They were my thing. I loved
shit fun.
Love toxic people and the chaos and all the rush and the dopamine and serotonin, because think about it, like, for me, it wasn't friendships as much as it was relationships. So think of it like, I love the breakup because I love the sadness, and it was also an excuse to go drink, and I love the makeup because then guess what? Here comes the dopamine, the rush. You make I love you and the wild sex or whatever else it is, and it's no
that
different.
breakup feeling. I'm that's crazy. You said that. I like it too. Like the pain and the I don't know.
Yeah. I hate that shit.
I hate it, but I like it. It's crazy, bro. I hate it, but I like it.
Yeah.
The pain, like, I'm addicted to that pain. Like,
yeah.
I got, in middle school, I got my heart broke so cold, bro. Oh, my God. That shit traumatizing.
Tell us now.
That's why I made a video with Earl, like, how he was in Eden, like. So, I was in a relationship in high school, and this dude on campus, he had a car. I'm broke. She left me for him. And man, that feeling walking to school, seeing them drive past you every day, like, bruh, then you on campus, everybody like, bruh took your girl right there. They with each other. They in the car. Like, that made me feel so weak.
Yeah.
But the same way you get them, be the same way you lose them. Because I took her from somebody, and so it's just like but that's traumatizing. So in my relationship right now, that's all I think about is getting done like that.
Yeah. Well, and it. I think it goes back to a lot that, from my understanding of subconscious living as over conscious living, and it's kind of one of the things I've been focusing on and talk with my lady about is like intentional living for what I want to be, not because of who I've been and what my life has been, and kind of flipping that, because it is, dude. When you have people, especially when it's in a relationship, that they gaslight you, mentally, emotionally, verbally abuse you or cheat or whatever else, it's hard to like let trust in, especially when you come from a system where you were supposed to get the love.
Right.
You didn't have any fucking trust at all.
Exactly. Man, but I'm learning.
Yeah. And after being cheated on too, it kind of leaves to, I don't trust. And I was just telling Jason that. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I don't trust any. It's like, this person is responding or commenting here. I know her boyfriend. Yeah. She is responding to my shit. It's like, fuck, I'm just stay single forever. But you trust nobody.
But you get, and like for me, I realized I had to develop boundaries with that kind of shit because I loved that attention. I went through phases where, in single periods, when I actually got in a relationship, it was like, you go over there or whatever. But when I was single, 7, 8 women texted me all at once, and it was like, man, what a rush! Look how great I am. I didn't actually want anything from them. I didn't actually want to even hang out. But it was like, keep showering me with compliments.
It was
nice.
Yeah,
that's what they don't.
Filling the ego.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Boosting your ego up. Huh?
Yeah. When in reality, all I had to do was look in the mirror and see who I needed to give self-worth. You know what I'm saying? So
being in a relationship and you like a public figure or like the social media is not cool.
Oh.
Because they gonna hit you up. And then I be picturing myself in my girlfriend's shoes, like, what if she was the one with all the followers?
Right.
That'd be fucked up. Because a lot of girls be writing me, and sometimes temptation, I'll write back. I ain't even gonna lie, and that's fucked up. But it's hard. Social media is the devil.
Can be.
Yeah, it can be.
I think it's all in.
It's ruining a lot of relationships for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's ruined.
I seen you liked her picture. There, raising my. I seen you commented on that bitch.
Man,
what's with the hard eyes? I didn't get hard eyes. It's like, how the fuck did you even know I did that?
Why you don't post me?
Oh, you can't snap me back, but I see you're liking pictures. Like, damn.
Social media.
It's fucking social
That's crazy.
media.
It creates a greater sense, greater ability for accessibility,
right?
Which is definitely dangerous. And funny thing for me was, even like when I was a good dude, Terrell, like telling you I'm like being a good dude, and then I would get the accusations from the relationship person,
right?
And then the breakup and be like, oh, you were accusing me of all this shit because it's what you were doing the whole time.
Why are you following her? Why are you following her? Do you know this girl? Why are you following her?
Yeah, then it's like...
And if they don't have a social media, it's weird. It's like, why don't you have social media? What are you hiding? You know what I mean? Who you running from? Something happened you don't want to tell me about? So it's a double-edged sword.
Social media get you caught up.
Fuck! Yeah. What do you do?
Best I heard it put, and who put that term first? Was it Breanne Davis that we had on, snorting people?
No, that was Rivka.
Rivka Reyes, that's right. Yeah, she was...
that's why I say I snort Jordans. I snort tattoos. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because...
That's addiction.
Yeah. But I think it's that same kind of thing with people, that there can be that addictive nature to people. There was for me, for sure. Now I'm like, man, I got my kids, I got my lady. It's like, life is good.
Yeah, I don't like being around people. I get paranoid. I don't know why. Especially after my friend died, it made it worse. Like,
I could imagine
going around large crowds and just being around. Like when I go back to my Fresno in my neighborhood, I can't hang around a group of homies and stuff, because especially when they get to pulling guns out, like, hey bro, look at this. flashback to when my friend got killed. Yeah, so I'm like, bro, put that up, and they look at me like, oh, because they realize they know what I've been through. So like, my bad. They already know, like, don't play with no guns around me, because you could easily kill somebody on accident, or if you point at them playing, like. So when I go to be around large crowds, I like, shit, invite me somewhere. People invite me somewhere, I'm like, nah, I'm good. And people be like, you so antisocial, but it's like,
I don't blame you.
I've definitely grown to be antisocial, that's for sure. But when I'm out in a crowd, people will assume different. Probably the same with you too. Just because of your personality on social media, they would assume. I
gotta put a mask on.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta wear that mask.
Well, that's the irony of two people. You're talking to two guys that are naturally introverts, and it's like, I gotta, I do some ring announcing for like MMA and pro wrestling. Man, I gotta become a different person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that shit. I couldn't do that shit sober at one point.
That's how I feel.
There was no way, Terrell. You were not going to get me. It's like, all right, who's got a shot? Give me some rum or whatever it was. And
that sucks.
It does. But I wanted to tackle the fear, which sounds like you're kind of in that place. You really want to tackle that fear of those situations.
Yeah, I do, and I wake up every day and I take steps to do that.
Yeah.
I got a journal. I'm writing it right now, like trying to like stop taking the pain pills to be comfortable around people,
right?
But that's just that's the times we live in right now. If you listen to rap music, a lot of rappers are talking about taking Percocets, and they all, that's what they take to deal with their pain. That's crazy. That's we doing that, especially when you start getting money, you taking it at a higher extent. You got money to buy the pills now. But I'm young, but I know I'm messing up my health. So I just turned 28. I'm like, man, I can't be doing this when I'm in my 30s.
No.
And I know I'm strong enough mentally to stop. It is that I'm also weak and vulnerable because my mental health issues.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you got mental health issues and strong, because one day I'm strong and the next day I'm weak.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of us, though.
I hate it and live it at the same time.
That's why I hate making plans, because I don't know where I'm going to be mentally on that day.
Right.
There are some days where I'm just like, the dark cloud is over you, but I already planned to do this, this, and this. And it's like, I made those plans on a good day where I was feeling fine.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to do it.
Man, I'm glad I'm not the only one that feel that way.
Oh, you're definitely not alone,
No.
That's for sure.
I'm thinking I'm going crazy sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Not at all.
I feel that, too.
Even through that process of, everything, and I most certainly, fuck, this ain't about me, but maybe one bonus episode we'll talk or have you come back and I'll go into some of the depths of where the mind took me. Right. But I find it getting less and less, and the trauma getting less and less, and sitting with it and accepting it. But through that, the being a service, which you accidentally fell into, wasn't totally the intent, but you did. And I think if you hang on to that and what you're doing and the comedy and everything else, man, I think you're going to be okay.
Right.
But, you want to talk to people, we'll
I do want to talk to somebody.
Yeah. So,
if you got any people that's like good people that you want to recommend, I stop by, see what they talking about.
Hell, I'll sit down and have a coffee with you.
Yeah.
You can bullshit.
Yeah, I drink coffee.
All right. Good. I like that fancy shit, though. Do you like the fancy shit?
What's the fancy shit?
Like the lattes. And
oh yeah, I fuck with the lattes. Coffee. I need sugar in my shit.
Right.
Coffee black.
You don't put sugar in it.
If I have regular,
how can you drink it like that?
That's what we drank in rehab, man. Just black coffee. Marlboro Reds. That's what got you.
If it's like regular coffee, I can. But if it's like otherwise, I would prefer something that's like got cream and sugar and the whole thing.
That's why everyone's like, "Have you have Dutch Bros? Have you tried this?" I'm like, I will get black coffee from AM PM. I don't care. I actually prefer gas station coffee over Starbucks coffee.
So where we see it going with things now with, I'm loving the Earl content, and it's funny, I didn't even think of the Ike Turner influence. So where do you see that going with Earl and with your stuff? Are you getting to a point where you think some of this you can...
I feel it, and that's the law of attraction. I'm putting the work in with it, and my fans even be like, Earl gonna be in the movie or something like that. So I'm just continue putting the work. I know something gonna pop. I'm just continue to put out content. But I'm just going wherever God takes me at this point. I'm just putting out content. I make 4 videos a day, and then you get back what you put in. So
sure,
I'm not worried about it. I'm just gonna continue to make content. Plus, Facebook is taking care of me. So
you're kind of...
I'm not in no rush. I'm just doing my job, making people laugh. And then the opportunity is going to come for sure. Because y'all know if you do something, you put in work, you're going to get rewarded for it.
Yeah. So you're kind of in that place of taking the hands off the driving wheel other than what you're doing, and it's going to pan out where it pans out.
That's how it be. The universe is going to look out for me.
So what about the book? I mean, are people, you can get Terrell's book, Against All Odds, a story about how I became on Amazon, or your website just terrellgreen.com?
Yeah, Terrell Green. I sign it for him and ship it off.
Yeah, and you got the Uncle Earl bobbleheads?
Oh, yeah, the bobbleheads. Yeah, a couple of my followers live in those. I be forgetting about those.
Dude, here's just an advice. The next merch, some Uncle Earl shirts with like sayings on there. Yeah. Because you got some of the sound effects are what crack me up the most in the video.
I'm going to do that.
But I think Uncle Earl needs some shirts or something with some of the little sayings on it.
He got a pretty cool following too.
Yeah. Yeah, you built that page because it's got an independent page of 12,000 or something. But you haven't been with that page too long.
Oh, no, on Facebook is probably more. But on that page, on Instagram, I don't really post on there anymore. I need to start posting on there more. But yeah, it's at 12K.
Okay.
Just made it.
Well, you ever think about some of the thoughts and things that you write and the way you kind of approach comedy, getting out and jumping up on a stage?
People ask me that all the time. the way my mental health set up, I ain't doing stand up.
No,
that's not even a thought. That's not even a thought in my mind. Like, I'd rather be an actor than do stand up comedy. I'd probably get up there and look around and turn back around.
Acting. All right, take two.
Acting,
take three.
Yeah, acting is way easy.
Stand up, it's you in a microphone.
And that's people looking at you.
Yeah, that's all you got.
I could act in front of people, like action, people looking, that's easy. But standing up, doing comedy, what if I say something and nobody laugh? I'm like, fuck. All right, that's my time, y'all. I love y'all.
That was the last time he did comedy.
Loser.
Thank you to Terrell Green for doing a 30-second set.
I mean, people be telling me, you need to do stand-up. No, I'm not. One guy, I had a meeting in L.A. Some guy told me I wasn't going to be successful. I don't do stand-up. I'm like, you must don't see how social media is giving everybody opportunities now.
Yeah. The girl, I forget her name, the one who hosted on New Year's Eve, Liza. Do you know who I'm talking about? She's an influencer as well. Her name's Liza something.
I'm pretty sure if I see her, because
yeah, she has a very familiar face. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure she got her fame from social media, and now she's hosting the ball drop on whatever channel it is, but in New York. She was the one hosting it, so it's just kind of like. Right. Yeah, you don't need to do stand-up, dude. Social media is the new way of the world. There's people more famous than actors now via social media.
Yeah. 9 million followers just on social media.
And more people are going to see that person's posts on 9 million following than they would on a commercial.
And when you build a fan base like that, these companies will come to you to, pay you to wear their stuff
exactly.
or,
Right.
So
you were saying that you're starting to get some of those potential deal offers.
I had my first one was Axe, and then I got one right now working with rallies. So I just signed a contract with Checker Rallies, and they just start coming. That's why I say I just put out content and then check emails every day, see what I got. They just come.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for answering ours, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I must have sent the
right email. I got your email. If I didn't even get to see the DMs because it was so much DM. You know how it be.
Yeah.
So when you email me, I got right back to you, and I checked y'all podcast out.
Well, I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, is there anything else you think you want to talk about before we get to the part of our random questions?
If you need to talk to somebody, go talk to somebody. Everything gonna be all right.
Yeah.
We in this together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. But you said it right there, is we got to be willing to ask for help.
Yeah,
right?
Something I didn't do.
There's no weakness in it. Well, but you're wanting to.
Yeah, I think you showing that you brave, courage to come out and ask for help.
Yeah.
Being weak is not asking for help.
Well, and I think in addition to that, part of that is what we choose to surround ourselves with too, and that's people
vital.
In our environment.
You gotta be around positive people, because if you're around negativity and you're going through mental health, it's just gonna fuck you up even more. You gotta be around positivity.
Yeah, it's what I forget how the saying goes. We are the median of those we surround ourselves with.
That's
so
facts.
It's kind of like, if we want to be at that higher level, let's hang out with people that are, pushing and grinding every day, and they're not, oh, woe is me. And, it's like, fuck that. I don't have the time or the energy for that anymore.
Oh, God.
This guy and we've been thrown into an extra hustle situation, and we've I think, I don't know, felt sorry for a day or two, but then it's like, hey,
had a pity party for a minute, but now it's like, all right, quit being a bitch, get over it, let's go. Start moving forward.
Let's keep moving forward. And it's not necessarily that it doesn't hurt, doesn't sting. It's just that, okay, that happened. There ain't shit we can do about what happened, but what we can do is continue to propel ourselves forward. And have a vision, have a goal. I'm gonna try a vision board. I haven't done much of that.
It's powerful.
Yeah, I'll have to ask you more about
I wouldn't
that.
even lie to you.
What
Everybody out there, get a vision board. So you can go to Google, print out pictures like a house you want, a car, whatever, and then put it on the vision board. Put it on your dresser, like before you go to sleep. Look at it. Wake up, look at it. But you gotta believe you're gonna receive it. Like you can't look at it like, I'm not gonna get that. You're not gonna get it. But if you look at it like, okay, that's mine. It's already mine.
Sure.
You're going to have it for sure. Like, I made a vision board in 2018. I still use it to this day. And everything on there is already X'd off except for my 5-bedroom house, but that's coming probably this year, So it's just powerful. It's just like you visualize yourself with the things, and you got to believe you're going to have it, and you're going to have it. Like, you don't hear people like me talking about stuff like that. I'm just telling you it's real.
Mm. No, and people need to.
When I first heard somebody talk about it, I'm like, that ain't real. But then when I start, if you don't read, watch the DVD, The Secret. Yeah, watch The Secret. It's on Netflix because they got a book that's changed my life. Yeah. Like, you got to be able to visualize what you want, and then your thoughts. The thoughts that you have in your mind could really affect your life, whether it's negative thoughts, positive thoughts. If you be like, okay. Like, I used to always sit at home and visualize getting interviewed like this. Before the videos, like when I first started, I wouldn't even have no type of followers. I used to be like interviewing myself in my head, and then for it to actually happen like this, I'm not even surprised. So that's just how it works.
What are some of those things you checked off, if you don't mind sharing?
One of the best ones. I was broke as fuck, bro, and then it's like a picture of hella money, and I said I wanted to make $9,000 a month or $100K in a year. That at the time that was a lot. This was in 2018. Just last year, I made $200,000 a year on Facebook, and going to cross that out. That was my biggest one. I'm like, that's crazy.
Killing it. That's badass.
I wasn't surprised, but I got emotional. Like, that shit real.
Yeah.
How did I do it?
But you did.
But I did, and I believed it. I didn't look at that like I'm not gonna get that, but I just kept putting in the work, and then once I started working, the money started coming.
I think it's a big part of, like we were talking about earlier, that purposeful living, like having a direction that you want to go, and a sense of self-worth and knowing it. Because
we all got a purpose.
Yeah. Because nobody handed that shit to you. You earned it.
Right.
You earned it. It's yours.
Right.
And so it's kind of when you talked about the people that like, well, I knew you win. Where's my cut? It's like.
Right. Because when I first started, nobody was on the train.
Yeah.
They was like, why you not playing sports? Like, and then when it started like to build and pick up, they was like, now family asks for money, but it's like, where is this energy at when I stopped playing sports? And y'all thought I was going crazy because my friend died and I dropped out of school.
Yeah.
Hey, I love it though.
It does teach us a lot though. It does teach us a lot. And again, back to that pain. Like, I've had to do some painful things with some people lately. It's like, I care about you, but you're going the fuck over there. And I don't mean for 5 minutes. This isn't a timeout. This is a take care.
Take care, separate. You gotta.
I wish you the best in life.
You gotta separate to elevate.
Mikey, random questions?
Yes. Okay. So if they were to make a movie about Uncle Earl, someone else had to act. Couldn't be you. Who would you cast to play him?
That's famous?
Mm-hmm. Anyone, any famous person.
Terrell, you can't say me because I already got a booking.
And you're not famous.
I am not famous.
I was going to say you. That's crazy. I'll probably say Mike Epps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I could see that.
Mike Epps would kill it.
He's funny.
If you were stranded on a deserted island and you had one movie and one music album with you, what would they be?
The movie, I'm watching Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah.
I love it, man. Forrest. I love it.
Jenna.
What is about Forrest Gump for you?
I would say that was my bad.
So what movie that came out? that movie came out what 94? Probably I was born in 94, but my mom used to watch it and put it on for me. And I used to really sit. And he used to run and play football, and that fascinated me. But I used to watch the whole movie, and it was just fascinating to me how he was running with them braces on, broke out, and then how Jenny dogged him his whole life. Like I was attached.
His whole life, dude. Who's a bigger dick than Jenny?
That's why she got her. That's why she got her karma in the end.
He's stuck with her.
He a real one for that.
Who's a bigger dick, Jenny from Forrest Gump or the grandpa from Willy Wonka?
Man, Jenny, bro.
You think? Jenny. I mean, he was being taken care of. He was in bed the entire time. Dude wins a golden ticket, all of a sudden, motherfucker can walk, no problem.
Man,
but yeah, probably
crazy.
Jenny,
bro.
Forrest had a good heart, and she just fucked him over.
Good heart,
multiple
man. And I put myself in his shoes. Like, fuck, I would, man.
Yeah,
Jenny,
but
she got her.
What a dick.
But I think if you break that down,
and I didn't realize that till I was older.
But if you break that down,
she probably died from AIDS.
I think that's what she did.
That's what the movie insinuates.
Really?
It insinuates.
So she didn't say that though, right?
No.
At the time, AIDS was barely like.
Yeah.
But that's what it was.
Yeah. But you kind of got to remember for her, like.
So did Forrest have AIDS?
Well, and they had a kid too.
They did have a kid.
But you look at Magic Johnson and Cookie had a kid afterwards.
Oh yeah, and they didn't have it.
And he was fine. Yeah, so neither one of them had it. Yeah, but if you look at like Jenny, she was sexually abused by her dad.
Yeah. She was, yeah.
So she didn't know, like you were saying.
So you can't really blame her. Knock her.
Right.
Not knowing what love is, she went with what she thought what it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas when we were talking earlier on, I was talking about love with like Forrest is through action. He showed through action. I mean, he went the dude that tried to, he thought was raping her, and he beat the shit out of him, and that's like a dude she was trying to hook up with. So
did he have a good relationship with his mom too, though?
Oh yeah, he had a great relationship with his mom.
So that's why he was such a loving person.
He beat the shit out of the dude who hit Jenny, though.
That's right. Yeah, she hit him.
He would have killed him if he could.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but I could see that Forrest,
And then my album.
Yeah.
Tupac. One of the Tupac albums. Which one I want to listen to?
All Eyes on Me?
Yeah, All Eyes on Me are Nipsey Hussle, Mailbox Money. I'm a big Nipsey Hussle and Tupac fan.
Right on.
But I'll listen to Tupac because he going to get me through.
Did you hear the rumor about the hologram being at the
Super Bowl? Yeah, I did. I was waiting on it. But
how did you feel about it not coming?
I mean, Dr. Dre and Tupac, I think they was bumping heads towards the end of Tupac before he died. Like Tupac was saying, Dr. Dre was that, calling them that word that we don't want to talk about. I think they got into it, but they should have brought him out for the West Coast.
Yeah.
He gone.
Yeah.
So it might have been cool. Something.
That would have been, man.
I thought Ice Cube was that much
better. If
I thought Ice Cube was going to be there. No one said that.
It was
wasn't
Dr. Dre.
Like
I guess it was Dr. Dre thing. He was just bringing all his the people that signed to him, or the people he brought out.
And then I saw 50 Cent, and I'm like,
East Coast. Huh?
That was not what I expected. I thought this was a West Coast thing, but Mary J. Blige is West Coast as well.
East Coast.
Yeah, and
Eminem's from Detroit.
He's from Detroit. Yeah,
but it's I think
Eminem. Those all Eminem. I mean, Dr. Dre people.
Yeah, that he produced and created that sound. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised by the 50 Cent and that they didn't. Give any like promo for that. It's like he wasn't even worth getting a promo up on.
I heard they don't get paid for it.
No, they don't pay for the halftime at all. So it's like I don't know. Maybe,
really?
Nope. Mary J. Blige said that in an interview, but she said like afterwards, so much money is gonna come, like it don't even matter. Like,
sure.
Probably endorsements and stuff.
Damn.
Well, man, she's 11 years sober. Eminem 14.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige.
Cool. Yeah.
What she was doing?
I don't know all of what it was. I know
she was getting. She was in an abusive relationship. I think.
Yeah. Well, and that's an easy way to want to turn to substances.
Yeah. Mental abuse.
Yeah, fuck that. Mikey.
Top 3 favorite actors.
Okay. Will Ferrell.
Love Will Ferrell.
Oh, wait. Denzel Washington, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Will Ferrell. And right now, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan's awesome. He's one of those guys that he could just play anything. Like if somebody said, we're going to make a movie about your life, and but we're not going to typecast it because we're going to get Michael B. Jordan. I go, fucking right you are.
I think our generation, he could be like Denzel Washington, man.
Sure.
because he
could see
a
that.
young Denzel to me.
He's got
Denzel.
like that Jamie Foxx level.
I was gonna say Jamie Foxx.
I
is
like
who
Jamie
could
Foxx
think can play
and
anything.
Will Smith because they play good play people good.
Like name a bad Will Smith movie.
I can't think of one.
You can't think of one because that's how incredible he is.
His best movie to me is The Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
That shit made me cry.
Me too. At the very end, where he's clapping after he finally, and it was just like, he did it. He did it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about I love those is based on something that occurred,
Right.
you know, and it shows people that you can do it. You know?
You seen it at the very end when he's walking with his son, the guy who walked by him. That's who the movie was about.
Yeah.
That's who. Will
I
Smith
never
played.
realized that.
Yeah. At the very end, when him and his son are walking, their backs are to the camera. Another guy crosses paths with them. That's who Will Smith is playing in the movie.
I never realized who he walked past, the actual guy. But I know who the guy is that we're talking about.
I know there's probably a bad Will Smith movie, but I ain't seen it.
The only one I could think of, not bad, but just my least favorite, was probably Wild Wild West. I didn't care.
Yeah, that was actually very terribly done.
I didn't care for that one, but I still love Will Smith. So,
Terrell, if there, I know you kind of threw a little bit of wisdom, but you know, I thank you for being very open and honest about what you are still struggling with, and I do have nothing but faith that you're going to get on the other side, especially if you start to build that community of whatever it is you want to transition from. But maybe some knowledge you can drop just with people, you know, for them from your experience, or you know, and being patient with yourself, or you know, it's a process. Clearly,
it's a process, and I know it's a lot of content creators or social media comedians that are people with a presence in general that's going through stuff and mental health issues, or if you're battling with drugs, man, don't be afraid to get help or speak out because you're an influencer. We mean like it's people that really look up to us, so we could if we continue to have these habits and we leave this earth, it's going to affect a lot of people, so we got to get right first of all, and then you know just continue to spread love.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate you coming down and joining us.
Thank you.